Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me today. We are looking at our Hasbro Marvel Legends Secret Wars Wolverine. I am very excited to have this figure in the collection. We got a couple Wolverines in our small but growing Marvel Legends collection, but I really wanted a Wolverine with a mask. And it's not the easiest figure to come by. There's a lot of figures out there, but if you don't want to pay that extra secondary market price, luckily, my local GameStop had this figure just sitting on the shelves. A guy pre-ordered it, never picked it up, and well, I'm scooping it up. Your loss, my gain. And I am very, very excited to have this figure in hand. I absolutely love this retro packaging, a thick card back as well. I know we've had a lot of complaints regarding the card backs on Marvel Legends figures, G.I. Joe Retro series, the classified guys, which we're really digging and loving. Really thin carbacks, but they fixed that. Look how thick this is. It's not bending. It's not getting damaged. It's absolutely spectacular. And then you do get the lenticular shield that has Wolverine's secret identity. Logan, well, I guess it's really not a secret identity anymore, but he also has the alternate head sculpt. We got some claws, popped out hands. I'm really excited to crack this guy open. On the back, you got the very detailed instructions on how to work that lenticular shield. Cross sell of the other characters in this lineup. There is a couple guys I definitely want to get. I definitely need a Captain America. As close as I can get to a classic looking Captain America, we're going to have to buy another Captain America to fix the shield because he comes with a totally destroyed, busted up shield, which is actually really cool. And I got quite a few ideas on doing some toy surgery shorts, some toy epic battles, some verses. I just can't wait to get this Captain America. The Iron Man is really good as well. I don't have this style of Iron Man, so I'd really like it. Unfortunately, I wish it would have came with the alternate head sculpt, unmasked. That would have been awesome. But there's an other Iron Man figure I really want that has a unmasked head sculpt, which we'll swap in and out for this one. Titania, I definitely want to get because that's a different figure I've never even had before. And Beyonder, Beyonder, I think will be a pass. Unfortunately, guys, he just doesn't entice me. He looks kind of ridiculous in his outfit. Nothing really going on there. But this black suit Spider-Man, he has been so elusive, so expensive. Hopefully, I can find this guy at a decent price. There is a toy show coming up at the end of April, which I'm going to bring you guys with. We're going to do some toy shopping. Hopefully, we can find this guy and a couple other Marvel Legends. We got a bit of a write-up there, so if you want to read that, go ahead and pause and expand if you need to. We got some really nice artwork of Wolverine. Not from Secret Wars. This looks like Mike McCone's artwork. He's a really great artist, great dude. I met him in person, absolute stellar guy. But yeah, it definitely looks like his artwork, not Mike Zeck's artwork from the classic Secret Wars 12-issue Max series. But yeah, I'm very excited to open this guy up. And let's take a look at him. And let's talk about Wolverine. All right, so we got this guy out of the package. We just sliced and diced the packaging, so I want to keep this packaging. It's really impressively just nostalgic. It looks so damn good with the blue, the lightning, that classic Secret Wars logo. Very impressed by it. But here we go. Lenticular shield. Oh yeah, it's got that scratchy. It looks great. This figure looks just fantastic. The head sculpts on both these figures looks outstanding. The claws look great. So let's break him out of this little plastic prison and let's take a closer look at Wolverine. So we got Wolverine out of the package, and I just wanted to show you there's this extra piece of cardboard that you could use as a shield face, I guess, if you wanted to. As Secret Wars Marvel Superheroes 40th anniversary. Yeah, it's been 40 years since this epic 12 issue Max series came out. Very impressive. Definitely stood the test of time, so to speak. But let's take a look at our Wolverine. All right, so we got our Wolverine out of the package, and I am really impressed. The quality and feel of this figure is really outstanding. But let's take a look at the accessories that this figure comes with, and let's deep dive into the Secret Wars. Let's deep dive into Wolverine, because he's definitely a character that has a really long, sordid history. So, the shield. I'm digging the shield. I know a lot of people are like, this is a throwaway item. They don't really care about it. For me, I love the nostalgia factor. I remember seeing my brothers playing with these action figures, and I don't know what they're doing. I guess they were like, secret identity. No secret identity. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but this is really cool. I love this lenticular throwback, man. It is awesome. You don't see too many things like this anymore. You do have that shield clasp, but I'm not too crazy about, and I don't think I'll be using this extensively. I just feel that this could break. It's a thinner kind of plastic. We've seen McFarlane use this kind of connection point as well on their Green Lantern figures when they have a shield attachment, but it just seems way more substantial, way thicker. I don't think that thing would ever break. This, it could break. And you do have that plug, so you can pop it onto the back of characters that have that hole, like certain Captain Americas that we're going to be getting soon, hopefully. But man, that is really nice. I really appreciate that little extra there. Now we do have the unmasked head of Logan, which I really like. I know a lot of people hate it for some reason. It just looks ugly, but man, I feel like this is like a throwback to the 70s, so to speak. I could imagine this being your kind of Department H before he joins the X-Men Wolverine. He's part of Alpha Flight, sort of. And I just see with this slick back hair, it's a little shorter. This really is a spectacular looking Wolverine with a digital printing as well. I gotta say, Marvel Legends Hasbro does probably the best head sculpts in the business. I could say that confidently. We get some absolutely spectacular stuff from McFarlane. Sometimes we get some dreaded stuff that just doesn't look right, but for the past, I don't know, maybe year and a half or so that I've kind of had an eye on some of the Marvel Legends, they do spectacular head sculpts, as well as the G.I. Joe Classifieds. They're another one that does some fantastic, realistic looking head sculpts, but this is awesome. I really want to put this on a Yellow Suit Wolverine. I know we've had the X-Men 97, which is absolutely impossible to get and so expensive. There is a re-release. Again, sold out everywhere. It's going to be impossible to try and get that, but I'm going to do my best to try and get that because I want to put this head sculpt on there for sure and have a pre-X-Men Wolverine kicking around in my Marvel universe. And then we got the claws. Yes, a Wolverine without claws is just not a Wolverine. And these look great. They look straight, not too bad. They seem different from my previous Wolverine figures. They look thinner, sharper. They just look really well done. I really do like it. I am a little tempted to put some silver metallic paint on there. Yes, because they look a little grayish. And I'd rather have bright silver claws for my Wolverine. So that might be happening with some toy surgery. But let's take a look at our main man here, Wolverine. And I gotta say, he looks fantastic. He's got this different head sculpt. He's got the smirk. Doesn't have the teeth groveling. He doesn't have that, neutral position. He's got some attitude going on. And I think that looks just fantastic. Now, of course, this Secret Wars miniseries Max series, came out in the 80s. It was a off-world kind of battle world thing going on here with the superheroes, the good and the evil, battling it out. And in that epic miniseries, we saw our first appearance of our symbiote of Venom with Spider-Man in issue 8, I believe, and I have that comic too, the original. I'm very happy to have that in my collection. As a long-term Spider-Man fan, I had to have it. I remember paying about 20 bucks for it. This is probably like about 15 years ago, and I was very happy with it because it's in prestige condition, and I just love having that in my collection. But this Wolverine, man, he looks good. He's short. I gotta get over that. That Wolverine is short in Marvel Legends. But look at that. Look at the hair sculpted. Yeah, it's kind of sculpted on and painted. That's really impressive. Then the colors, I know a lot of people are not happy with. I like it. It's something different. I like to have unique variants of the characters that I love on my shelf. Batman, Superman. We've gotten tons of them from McFarlane Toys. And it's okay because each one is different, distinct. It doesn't look, oh my god, these guys look exactly the same. Well, except for the Hush ones. They're a color swap, but otherwise they're pretty much the same figures. But I love the way we're getting different head sculpts, different paint jobs, and I like these lighter tones. It feels retro. It feels 80s for sure. But he just looks great. It's crisp, clean paint. No issues about bleeding. It's vibrant. It looks absolutely fantastic. And I'm really impressed to have this figure in the collection. Man, and the musculature. Look at that. Really impressive. Now let's take a look at some of the articulation now. He is really tight. So we'll take a look at all of them with his different accessories, but let's take a look at articulation. He's got lots of movement in the head. These things are soft and pliable. So I guess if you didn't want them sprawled out this much, you could kind of boil and pop in heat and cold and make him more pinned to his head. But I don't know, I kind of like him a little sprawled out. So he has a great range of movement in that head sculpt. He does have butterfly hinge shoulders, which are super tight. We're going to have to do a little boiling pop in and get this guy going here. He has a bicep cut, of course, full rotation of the shoulder. He has double jointed elbows, articulation at the wrist that can hinge up and down as well. Ab crunch, nice and tight. Doesn't have a lot of movement. He does, like he can go forward. Look at that, like crazy amount. Back as well, and you hear the ratchets in there. I absolutely love that. It keeps it nice and tight. He has a ball joint, or excuse me, a waist cut. Doesn't have a ball joint. I wish he had a ball joint here to give him even more articulation. He has ball joints at the hips, double jointed knees, pivot ankle rocker. He doesn't have articulated toes, but that's kind of reserved for Spider-Man figures. But he is a great looking figure. Now I want to get the claws on him, do a head swap, and we'll see how he looks with a little bit of a change up. Oh yeah, we got the claws popped. Man, he looks awesome. And I gotta say, this figure's articulation is so smooth. There's no hiccups. There's no jankiness. It is so smooth and just flows so damn good. You can get this guy into so many different poses, and I definitely wanted to have him with the mask on when you pop those claws. And what I really appreciate is the painted knuckle dusters where the claws eject from his wrist. That is absolutely awesome. So well appreciated. And then the sculpted hair, man, it looks good. I really like these Wolverines, man. I'm digging these Marvel Legends. As a die-hard DC Multiverse collector for the past almost 5 years, I'm really liking Marvel Legends, man. They're turning my bias around quite a bit. Now let's swap out the masthead. Wow, and this looks great as well. Like, man, it is so classic, vintage looking Wolverine, and I'm really impressed by this. Now, we've gotten a lot of different Wolverines in the collection. In Marvel, Hasbro, Marvel Legends series, there has been a plethora of Wolverines, but for a guy who's new to Marvel Legends, I'm glad they have a Wolverine on the shelves that I could pick up that has the mask, that has the colors I kind of want, and a little bit of extra. So I think it's extremely important. I know a lot of people are going to complain that, well, why is there another Wolverine? Oh, I hate Wolverines, too many of them. You got to remember, there's a lot of collectors out there are just starting Marvel Legends for the first time. So getting a Wolverine is extremely important. It's like if you go into a store, and this is what I think Star Wars is a bit in the lacking of. You can't walk in and get Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader in one shot. You can't do that. It just doesn't happen anymore. And that's what I think is a bit of a bummer. At least McFarlane understands that, hey, this is going to be somebody's first Batman. Maybe it's not the OG Batman, but you will get one down the road. You're going to get a cool looking variant, and you will get a Batman. If you wanted that Christian Bale Dark Knight Batman, well, guess what? You're going to get it in a re-release of a Bat Cycle Bat Pod with that Christian Bale Batman that you want. It might not be the original with Bane pieces, but it might have a cloth wired cape, which is even better. So a lot of stuff going on there, and I think it's a lot of things for people to wrap their head around, for myself as well. I'm glad that I was able to get this guy. And one attention to detail I really appreciate is this. The wrinkles in the fabric. You've seen a lot of times, I've seen Wolverine where this is just painted one color and doesn't extend down. I think that's a nice little touch of fabric, a bit more realism. But man, this is just a striking Wolverine. I am so damn impressed with this Wolverine. So let's put him on a, well, a McFarlane DC Multiverse stand. And let's have him with some other Wolverines that I have in the collection. I only got a couple. This was one of the first Wolverine, actually one of the first figures I got in this new updated collection. And of course, everybody wants the darker version. Of course, I understand that. I love it. I love this color scheme. It's definitely the John Byrne era of Wolverine in my mind's eye and in my collection. I love that it's Helverine. You know, it's not just another character, another Wolverine. This is a special Wolverine that has that adamantium flaming skull, which just looks awesome. If I could find that skull. Here it is. I absolutely love this accessory. It can go into so many different figures. That could be the Spirit of Vengeance if you want to play around with that. But I really love how we got that 2-pack of Lady Mandarin with Mandapore Wolverine. This guy here, we got those two heads, and that head sculpt is absolutely awesome. It's so nice. And the fact that I got two head sculpts in one package, I got to switch them things around. And this is the Wolverine collection that we got so far. Am I happy with it? Hell yeah. I got my Masked Wolverine. I got my John Byrne Wolverine. I even got a Mandapore Wolverine, which I didn't think would really see the light of day in my eyes because it's such a long time ago that this guy appeared in the comics. But this is the start of a massively impressive collection of Wolverine figures, my X-Men. I really want to branch out and do my Avengers, my classic and new. It's going to be a little tough because a lot of those figures are a little hard to find, but good old Amazon Marketplace will eventually get the figures I really want and build that up. My X-Men is going to be a little tougher because I need a Cyclops. Cyclops is my anchor for the X-Men. And trying to find a really classic looking Cyclops is extremely tough. I'm hoping that re-release that comes out in May from X-Men 97, hopefully that finds its way to my hands somehow. But yeah, I'm really impressed and very happy to be building up this Marvel Legends collection and starting really off with Wolverine here. You can't go wrong with this Secret Wars Wolverine. It is phenomenal. The nostalgia factor is there. The figure looks absolutely awesome. The articulation is fantastic. The color, paint apps, everything. I'm just really impressed with it. Now, there's a couple more things I want to do, guys. I want to do a little head swapping between these guys and see how that looks. All right, so I just did a little head swapping between these two guys here. I wanted to see what this brown costume would look like with that mask. And yeah, the colors are off, but you could fudge it. I think you could fudge it. You know, if you did this a bit of a darker tone, it would look pretty damn spectacular. I love these Wolverine claws. They are phenomenal. Such a cool idea, aspect, and it's implemented extremely well. I like a little diversity, and I'm glad that I don't have just abandoned claws or maybe even bone claws would be cool. I definitely want a bone claw Wolverine, but the Hellfire claws are absolutely awesome, and that looks great. I definitely could see this head sculpt being repainted and modified to this type of Wolverine. And then giving this guy this head sculpt looks great too. You know, a little bit longer hair, a little more bow to weary Wolverine, but man, that looks really good too. And of course, let's do something with our Mandapore Wolverine. Yeah, and that one's really nicely done as well. He looks fantastic. Love the shorter hair. I think the shorter hair is a different look that we haven't really got too often with our Wolverine figures, and this looks just fantastic. So there you go, guys. We did some toy surgery. We had some fun. We opened up a figure that I'm really excited to be kicking off my Marvel collection with. So there you go. My opinion, man, I would grab it. If you're a first-time Marvel Legend collector just getting into the series and the wave of figures that we're going to get an onslaught of, I mean, man, this Wolverine is absolutely fantastic. If you're a long-term Marvel Legend collector, do you need this figure? Well, I think he'd be a great addition to your collection. So you got that short hair, that unique head sculpt, a different kind of color palette. It's a little more subdued, a little softer. Kind of has this retro 80s vibe, which I definitely think they hit with this Secret Wars lineup. Stay tuned. We're definitely be doing more figures from this lineup, more Marvel Legends, and we're going to have some fun. I'm really digging this series. And if my sweet DC multiverse is coming to an end and it's going to be going in limbo and, by the end of the year and Mattel, we don't know what they're getting. I'm sure there's going to be some top quality stuff, but I don't know. DC Multiverse has definitely been a huge component of my collecting life for almost 5 years, and I pretty much exclusively collected DC Multiverse. Now that that line coming to an end, the torch being passed to Mattel, I'm definitely going to diversify my collection. Some other things that have always interested me, like Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, I'm going to be deeper diving into that stuff, but I'm still going to be doing any releases that come out. I'll be doing reviews for them because I enjoy these figures, and there are some stellar reviews and some stellar figures coming out. Man, I am so excited for what's left with DC Multiverse. I think McFarlane Toys is going to kick it into a next gear to just show, hey, this is some of the best stuff we've put out. Let's see what's next. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with the Turtles. I'm not the biggest Turtles collector, but they do some killer shredders and foot soldiers and a Rat King. I like Rat King for some reason. It just looks neat. And hopefully the Turtles too. Make sure they're freaking awesome, guys, because, man, losing the DC Multiverse lineup is a huge gap in your portfolio. So we need something to really kick up the pace and get your name out there again. But enough of McFarlane talk. We'll save that for our next DC Multiverse video, and that's going to be Batman with Ace, the Bat Hound. I'm really excited to open that guy up and have some fun with that. But this has been our first look at Marvel Legends in a full-length review, and I'm very impressed by these figures, and definitely worth picking up. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, join the OG Universe team. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next one.